Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back to new session. So in our last session we discussed about what is spectroscopy, how electromagnetic radiation actually interacts with matter. So whenever we send different types of electromagnetic radiation toward the unknown molecules, what type of changes will be there, all those things we have already discussed. So in our syllabus basically we have two different instrumentation techniques. One is actually UV visible spectroscopy, that is also known as electronic spectroscopy. And another thing actually we have also another spectroscopy technique that is infrared spectroscopic technique. So we have to complete these two topics in this unit. So today I am going to start with the first instrumentation technique, that is actually called UV visible spectroscopic technique. Okay, so let us start today's session. So today I am going to discuss about UV visible spectroscopy, or this is also known as electronic spectroscopy. So the instrumentation looks something like this. This is one of the example only, and you will get the finally absorption spectrum in this manner. So from this absorption spectrum we can able to understand what type of functional groups are available. Particularly, so this spectroscopy useful to understand the unsaturation available in the given compound. Unsaturation means if you take any compound like this, for example, simplest example. So this is one of the benzene molecule. So in this benzene molecule we have C double bond C groups like this. Or if you take ethylene compound, CH2 double bond CH2. So this is also one of the unsaturated compound. It also contains one double bond like this. So like this, basically from the electronic spectroscopy, so we can able to understand that in a given molecule is there any unsaturated functional groups like C double bond C, or C triple bond N, or C double bond O, or something like that. So in addition to that, UV visible spectroscopy also useful to understand the various colors of the metal complexes. So we can able to understand, okay, the given metal complex can able to absorb this particular wavelength or red color or blue color, something like that. So we have already discussed in the case of first unit, most of the metal complexes are actually having colored in nature, they have optical properties. So all those optical properties can be predicted by using this electron spectroscopy or UV spectroscopy. So we will discuss all the details in this chapter. So that's the reason. So the main use of the UV visible spectroscopy, actually it is useful to measure the number of conjugated double bonds in a given molecule. So we have some unknown organic compound. So that organic compound actually contains certain some number of alternative double bonds. So if any compound actually having alternative double bonds like this, so this is double bond and single bond, this is double bond, again single bond, again this is double bond. Like this, if you have any alternative double bonds in this manner, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond like this, so then that is actually called conjugated double bonds. So this UV visible spectroscopy useful to measure the number of conjugate double bonds available in a given molecule. That is as possible, and it is also useful to understand the given molecule actually aromatic in nature or non-aromatic in nature. So aromaticity is delocalized double bonds. So in case of benzene ring, we have a delocalized double bonds like this. So it is also useful to measure the aromaticity of a given compound, and it is also useful to differentiate between the conjugate system and non-conjugate system. So we will see one by one. For example, so in this absorption spectrum, so we have these absorption spectra, three different compounds. So what is the first compound? So this is actually naphthalene. This is actually naphthalene, anthracene, and this is actually tetrazine, because this molecule contains 4 benzene rings. So this is actually called tetrazine, this is actually anthracene, and this is actually naphthalene. And previously, and we can also compare this one with benzene also. So this is the benzene molecule. So these are 4 different aromatic compounds. These are actually 4 different aromatic compounds. But in this spectra, I am showing actually absorption spectra of 3 different compounds like this. So once the aromaticity changes, the absorption peak values also changed in this manner. Yes or no? So aromaticity changes in this manner. So from this absorption spectrum we can able to understand, so this peak mainly because of the naphthalene, and the second peak mainly because of the anthracene, and the third peak mainly because of the tetraene molecule in this manner. So like this, so this absorption spectrum or UV visual spectroscopy useful to understand the predict the aromaticity available in given compound, what type of aromaticity is available. So at the same time it is also useful to calculate the number of conjugate double bonds available in a given molecule. Even all these are actually aromatic compounds, but even in these aromatic compounds also we have a conjugated double bonds like this. All these are actually conjugated double bonds only. Yes or no? In all the molecules. So this spectroscopy is useful to predict the conjugate double bonds available in a given molecule. At the same time it is also useful to predict the aromaticity available in given molecules. And the second example actually it can able to distinguish between the conjugate system and non-conjugate system. For example, here we have two different examples like this. The first one actually 1,3 butadiene molecule. So first carbon, second carbon, third carbon and fourth carbon. So in this molecule we have a 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means this is actually butane kind of compound, but we have a 2 double bonds here. At first carbon we have a double bond, at third carbon also we have a double bond. So that's the reason this is 1,3 buta and diene. Ene means double bond, diene. So but this is actually, in this case we have a alternated double bonds. First carbon having double bond, second carbon single bond, and third carbon again we have a double bond like this. That means this is actually one of the conjugate system because this molecule contains alternated double bonds. Whereas second example, this is actually called 1,4 pentadiene. Here how many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this molecule actually contains totally 5 different carbon atoms, but first carbon contains one double bond like this, and again fourth carbon contains another double bond like this, but in between we have a CH2 carbon group like this, CH2 carbon like this. So here we have a one single bond, again we have another single bond here. So that means this is another conjugate system, this is actually non-conjugate system, but both these molecules actually having same 2 double bonds. We have actually diene moiety only, but this is actually 1,4 pentadiene, but this is actually 1,3 butadiene. So this is actually one of the conjugate system, and this is actually non-conjugate system. So UV visible spectroscopy actually provides different absorption spectra for the 1,4 pentadiene, and it will produce different spectra for the 1,3 butadiene. So from the absorption peaks we can easily understand, so what is the absorption peak. From the absorption peak value we can easily distinguish between the which one is the conjugate system, which is the non-conjugate system. So like this. So UV visual spectroscopy mainly useful to measure 3 important things. The first thing actually it is useful to measure the conjugated double bonds available in given molecule. That is one of the reason. And second important thing actually the aromaticity available in given molecule. The given molecule contains any aromatic rings, 6-member rings or 5-member rings, or like naphthalene kind of moieties, or anthracene kind of moieties, or tetraene kind of moieties. All those things can be easily predicted by using UV visual spectroscopy. And finally, it is also useful to distinguish between the conjugate systems and non-conjugate systems. So that is also possible. But apart from all these things, UV visual spectroscopy also having lot of importance in the case of inorganic molecules or in the case of complex compounds, all those things. And most of the transition metal complexes actually colored in nature. They have special optical properties. So all these optical properties can be determined by using UV spectroscopy only. And in most of the materials actually having the different optical properties, or even all those things can be explained by using UV spectroscopy. That means UV spectroscopy actually having a lot of importance in chemistry or physics or material science and various branches. Even medicinal chemistry also they used to take the UV visible spectrum for the various drug molecules. They want to see any color absorbing moieties are available, or what type of possible transitions are available, any aromatic groups are available. So it is actually having a lot of applications in different types of branches like medicine, engineering or science, like that. So this is one of the examples. This is the main reason. So why we have to study UV visible spectroscopy means it is actually having lot of applications. Okay, and before going to the further details, we have to understand what is the UV radiation, because we are saying that this is one of the spectroscopic technique. So what is the meaning of spectroscopy technique? In case of spectroscopy technique, the unknown matter or matter actually subjected to radiation, electromagnetic radiation. So depending on the energy of the electromagnetic radiation, the strength of the electromagnetic radiation, we can observe different changes in the corresponding matter. So that means what type of radiation we are sending toward the matter or unknown molecule, that is actually very, very important. So in this case, basically we are using UV means ultraviolet radiation or visible radiation towards the unknown compound. So that is the reason this is actually called one of the spectroscopic technique, because in this case UV or visible. So visible light actually interacts with the matter. So that is the reason this is one of the spectroscopic technique. And in this particular technique, what is the source of radiation we are using? Basically UV visible, ultraviolet and visible radiation. So that is the reason we have to understand what is the range of UV visible radiation. So here we can easily see that. So this is actually electromagnetic spectrum. Yes sir, electromagnetic spectrum, and this is the range of the visible light, and this is up to here actually the ultraviolet radiation. So here you can see from here to up to this point. So this is actually one of UV visible range. So generally UV visible radiation actually expressed in terms of wavelength only most of the cases. So here the range actually 200 nanometers to 760 nanometers. So from 200 nanometers to 760 nanometers actually defined as UV visible radiation. So what is the relation between energy and wavelength? Wavelength means lambda. So there is a inversely proportional relation actually exists between the energy and lambda value. So that means lambda value decreases, energy actually increases. Lambda value increases, corresponding energy actually decreases. So that means in this case 200 nanometer means that is one of the actually having shorter wavelength, that is very close to the ultraviolet radiation. So this is actually this region. This is actually 200 region. From 200 to up to 380 actually defined as ultraviolet radiation. 200 to 380 nanometers range, that is actually defined as ultraviolet radiation, and from 380 to up to 760. 380 to up to 760 nanometers actually called visible region. That is actually called visible region. So because this is actually one of the white light, it actually contains 7 different wavelengths in this manner. So 7 different colors like this in this manner. So that means what is the entire UV visible radiation range means 200 nanometers to 760, or some textbooks they will mention actually up to 800 also. There is no issue. So 200, 800 is also okay, or 200 to 760 nanometers. And again among these 200 nanometers to 760 nanometers, 200 to up to 380 or up to 400 nanometers, either 380 or up to 400. So 200 to 400 actually defined as ultraviolet radiation, because it is actually shorter wavelength. So ultraviolet radiation actually having higher energy when compared to the visible light. And visible radiation defined as actually either 380 to 760 or 400 to 800 nanometers like this. So this region actually called visible region. So that means if any compound, if any unknown compound, if it is absorbing radiation from the visible radiation, if any unknown compound actually absorbing radiation from the 380 to 760 nanometers or 400 to 800 nanometers, then that particular compound always shows some particular color. So we have different as a color compounds. So that means all those compounds, all those things are actually absorbing radiation from the visible light only. If any compound absorbing other than this region from the entire electromagnetic spectrum, if any compound absorbing other than visible light like microwaves or radio waves or ultraviolet radiation or X-rays, so we don't get any color for that particular compound. So those compounds are actually called colorless compounds. So colored compound, definitely it is actually absorbing one radiation at least from the visible radiation only. So that is the reason most of the compounds are actually showing color, because of those compounds actually absorbing at least one radiation from the visible range, 400 to 800 or 380 to 760 nanometers only. So this is actually what is UV radiation. So what is UV visible region? So 200 nanometers to 760 nanometers defined as ultraviolet visible region. So this is the region. So this is the region. So again, among this entire region, 200 nanometers to up to 380 nanometers defined as ultraviolet radiation, and from 380 to 760 nanometers range actually defined as visible region. So in this spectroscopy, we are actually working on the entire region. We are sending from 200 to 800 nanometers range of radiation toward the unknown molecule. So depending upon the nature of the unknown molecule, sometimes some of the molecules actually absorbing from 200 to 380 range, and some other molecules actually absorbing from 380 to 760 range also. So that depends on the nature of the molecule, type of molecule we have. Okay, so the next point actually, okay, so in this spectroscopy technique we are sending UV visible radiation toward the unknown molecule. Then after, once this radiation, either ultraviolet radiation or visible radiation, interacts with unknown compound or matter, what will happen? So what type of changes we can able to observe? So as we said in the first session, if we are sending micro radiation toward the unknown molecule, then there is a rotational changes. If we are sending infrared radiation toward the unknown molecule, there is some kind of vibrational changes in a given molecule. So now in this spectroscopy technique, we are actually sending little bit high range radiation, that is ultraviolet radiation and visible radiation towards the unknown molecule. So in this case, what will happen means, there is, in this case, there is an involvement of promotion of electrons from the ground state level to the next level excited state. There is a promotion of electrons from the low energy state to the higher energy state. So from the ground state to the higher energy state.